Yeah, man. So I guess just you were the first one to arrive. I was out of my truck. It's a miracle that I heard that I even opened my truck, because I could have just as easily died in my truck and nobody would have known. It was snowing that day, right?
I think it had snowed earlier that day. Yes, it had been called in that you had hopped out of your truck and kind of passed out. Bystanders said they saw you pass out. So we got called. When we showed up, we saw you laying on the ground in the parking lot. There was snow around. You weren't responsive. We checked to see if you had a pulse, if you were breathing. You weren't, so we started CPR. So we started to work. We started to give you compressions and kind of do some of the other things we do. And about 10-15 minutes, I'd say, of working you, we got your pulses back and we loaded you up in the ambulance and then had a 30-minute ride down and keeping you alive to the hospital.
That's what you did. Yeah. So that first initial, I guess, compression session took about 15 minutes, and then you got me in the ambulance. So I had a total of 3, right? Heart attacks?
I'm not sure how many you had. I just know that, the 10 to 15 minutes of us doing compressions before we got your heart beating again.
Yeah.
And then once we did, we loaded you up. And in the back of the ambulance, I'm pretty sure that we kept your pulses the entire time.
Yeah.
We didn't start compressions again, so there's a chance the hospital
Do you remember if we were shocking
we did shock you once, I think, and by the time...
Oh, I didn't know that.
I can't remember.
So
by the time...
we would do compressions for 2 minutes and then check
and shock.
and shock if there's a rhythm that we can shock. Or then we continue.
Yeah.
So that cycle went on for 10 or 15 minutes prior to, you said, getting your pulse back. And then at that point it was focused on getting you into the ambulance.
Well, I do remember once we got you down closer to the hospital, I had intubated you, and the tube that you had been throughout the hospital, but the initial one that I placed, by the time we got to the hospital, you had started to bite on the tube, which is a good sign. It means neurologically you're fighting.
Yeah.
You're coming around. So that was a good sign to see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Once I got to the hospital, the report just said 3 heart attacks. So they said a 28-minute time that I was dead. That's what I hear. But
I'd say probably 5 minutes before we showed up. Maybe another 10 to 15 of us working you, and then a 30-minute transport to the hospital.
It's a miracle. And I don't know if you heard, but then I was part of that ice cap study. I had doctors from all over the world looking at me through cameras. So they had cameras set up in my room, and they would, look at me that way and then say, do this, do that, which kept my body temperature down, mostly my brain, from swelling, because that's where the damage comes in. So I think that's why I'm making such a great recovery.
Oh, that's awesome.
But thanks for taking the time to talk to me, man.
Yeah, of course. Glad
you guys don't get this often, I'm assuming. So thank you for letting us come down, and thank you in person.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Glad you're doing well.
I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, for sure. I'm doing awesome. Yeah.